Welcome, everyone. This is Pilot Needles, and you're listening to LOTRO Players News, where we take a look at the latest news on LOTRO and hear LOTRO players. And this week we have with us Krister
Hello.
and Cinders.
Hello!
Hello, everyone. And this week we had, surprise, surprise, another update.
No.
Yeah, I know. I guess that always happens. You have an update one week and then that spawns another one the next week. Yes, that was update 38.1.1, where they have brought out the Umbar crafting guilds. After reaching the Umbar Guild member status, each profession provides daily quests to complete a recipe, available from the specific guild leaders to craft items from Umbar crafting to earn more reputation with the craft guild. In addition to daily quests, a new weekly reward has been introduced. Completing any guild's daily quest 5 times will reward you with Virtue XP, guild tokens, luckstone settings, and a picker box with relevant rewards. I guess that reminds me, I had to find out where exactly my cook is relative to the various guilds. I have a feeling I'm a couple of tiers off at the moment.
Yeah, I was going to say, prepare for disappointment.
Yes.
How much work do I have to do?
Yeah, how much work do I have to do? I have completely lost track of guilds. But I'm hoping that maybe that I'm not too far off, but I'm sure I'm a couple of tiers off. And I'm sure there'll be plenty of tiers trying to catch up.
Tears for tears.
Yes. And for crafting, craft guilds can now advance to a new tier, Umbar Guild Master. The crafting guild hall Dar Hadim Swain's Guild Hall has been added to Umbar Baharbel, and based on the rumors I've been hearing, that's somewhere in the vicinity of the gut.
What's in the vicinity of the gut?
The new crafting hall or something like that.
I don't know. We didn't find it.
Oh yeah, we didn't find. We weren't going around in the guild today, around the gut today. Yes.
Byleaf almost ran into the gut, though.
Yes. Yes. Reaching Umbar Guild member in a crafting guild unlocks access to a new daily and weekly quest available from Umbar Guild leaders in Dar Hadim Swain's Guild Hall. These quests will advance progress with new Umbar Guild reputation factions. Unlike traditional crafting guilds, reputation gained in these specific Umbar factions will not be lost should you choose to change your profession. New recipes to craft equipment and consumables are available for barter from the Umbar Craft Guild vendors. These new recipes include traditional one-shot rare gear recipes and a new type of recipe designed to allow consumables and specific socketed gear to be upgraded as you advance with the guild. The upgraded recipes require luckstones, a new type of ingredient either in the raw form or crafted into a profession-specific luckstone ingredient. The upgrade paths all start with a baseline item that can be crafted freely traded. These items include equipable gear and recipe-specific tools used in crafting consumables. Baseline items can then be used as ingredients in recipes that will consume them and create upgraded versions. Upgraded versions will be bound to account. Upgraded armor and jewelry allows flexibility in adding additional essence slots with multi-output recipes, allowing the crafter to choose the essence type slot to add. And upgraded tools such as cruets, crucibles, and smithing hammers are now used as unconsumed ingredients in recipes for feasts, luckstones infused drafts, and weapon polish consumables.
You actually think about it. That would be kind of funny because you have to throw away your iron hammer every time you crafted one thing. Get a new hammer. This one's dirty.
Yeah, and special teachable recipes available from the Umbar Craft Guilds allow you to craft unbound one-shot upgrade recipes that will allow apprentice or higher crafters of any profession to upgrade these specific pieces of armor and jewelry. And Umbar crafters can now craft an ember-worthy craft item for the quest Craft for Embers using Umbari ingredients. Now, outside of this last one, which sounds like it corresponds to things that we've had in several other expansions, in other words, the Ember quest in there, did anyone here actually understand a single word of that?
Nope.
I figured I'd just experience it and it would eventually kind of seep in.
That's
Okay,
kind
yes.
of my expectation, is that you have
Yeah,
to try it for it to make sense.
Yes, I think that's sort of the case. And I noticed that the thread that announced this particular item in there, and it was a very, very long thread, and I think I saw it hitting double-digit pages. so, so yeah, I believe it was including a large number of questions and answers because I I was going through the various threads in the staff tracker, and at least half the posts by Blues during this last particular week have been in response to questions on this from that little item about the new guilds and the like. So yes, I'm a little out of tune with the crafting guild, so I'm probably not going to understand this all well that too much until I actually get my cook over to the crafting hall and start working with my cook is still level 144, so I have a few more levels to go before I'm going to be making it over into Umbar. All right, anyone have any questions or answers relating to the crafting?
Well, I was introduced to the crafting hall, and it's
Okay.
pretty cool. And it's going to be interesting to see what it means, but I didn't understand uh, if it was just simply a new tier or we had to like recraft, we had to like rebuild our rep with the Umbari Guild from like a tier 1 situation. I wasn't quite clear how that worked, but
Well,
the
I believe that it's a new tier of the crafting guild.
okay,
I can't remember what the old previous max tier was.
it was the Gundam band. Uh,
Oh, there was a good. No, I'm talking about crafting guild tier, not
I'm sorry.
regular
I'm
crafting tier.
sorry. I'm sorry. You're yeah. So yeah, that's yeah. It's I think you're absolutely correct. It's going to work exactly like that. The curiosity I really have is around the actual slottables now, where you actually have different types of slots. Have you guys seen this? It's like you can put like a basic essence in,
Yes.
vital essence, and then like a regular essence. And from what I
Yes.
understand, is like the basic essences are like really pretty weak. But the way that you said something there, Pine, made me think about possibly what it means is that even if you have like this basic essence slot, maybe you can craft something to improve that slot.
So basic essence doesn't mean that it's like a lower level. So the basic essences are things like an essence of block or parry or things like that. Your vital essences are things like vitality, and then the third type is like might and will and those kinds.
Oh, okay. So they've kind of just separated them out into different
Yes,
groups.
that
Okay.
way, what it's done is it's made it so you can't just stack vitality, um, which has been the case. Like with Guardians, is that you'd get slotted armor and you could just slot vitality like crazy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
you
Captain Speed too.
can't do that anymore.
Right. I mean, you could put in vitality ones, but those are weaker vitality ones that you can put into the general slots.
You
Urge to
can't.
kill rising.
I've tried it, and you don't seem to be able to.
No, I mean that there are minor. I think they're called like minor vitality.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Essences
haven't been
on top
able.
of that.
I
Yeah,
haven't been
Yeah,
able
because
to
I've seen
find
the.
any.
yeah. I
Yeah,
think they're way at the bottom. I think they're way at the bottom of the general boxes.
yeah, because I've seen
I
them,
think
and they're like
there's one called
three.
a minor one. It's like it's it's a small enough value that you're probably going to say that's not worth it.
Yeah, it was like 300. Like add
Yeah,
300
it's like
vitality.
300 instead of whatever you get for the real
Hmm.
Oh,
vitality
I was
ones.
hoping it might have been a case of that you could upgrade those slots and then kind of.
No, but I was looking ahead to the craft guild actual, like the actual page about the craft guilds and the upgradable items, which I think Pine Leaf is going to get to next, unless I can jump ahead to it.
What the
Umbar crafting guilds that you've got linked in here. Are you okay if I jump ahead to that?
actually that's where I oh that's right because I was still reading from the release. How about if I finish the release notes, then we
Sorry
can
about
go through
that.
the
Sorry for
crafting guilds.
No,
You're
it's
right.
okay.
I
jumping in
was
there.
yeah, you're right. Yes, I had forgotten that I wasn't on the crafting guild page. I was on that one.
Yeah,
Yes,
but
no
that
wonder
one
I
helps
had so few
explain.
details there.
Yeah,
Yes,
that helps
okay,
explain some of what Krister's asking, I think, as I was reading through
okay,
it. So,
okay.
we'll wait.
So let me go into the items and quests for the police notes. Then we can go into what's in the crafting guild page in general. Yes, I for some reason I was mentally thinking I was already in the crafting guilds sheet there. All right, let's go to items. Items added travel items for the Bloody Eagle Tavern in Umbar, barterable from Order of the Eagle and the Ledger Keepers, Allegiance Quartermasters. That's the good news, is that now you can buy a port to the Bloody Eagle Tavern. The bad news is that it has a minimum level of 140.
Aww.
I mean,
Wah wah.
this is, yes, remember that the minimum level for missions is level 20. There are no stable masters going into the Bloody Eagle Tavern. It's like, all right, how does my level? Yes, I did a video on how to get a level 20 character into there. It involves the allure of Umbar, is the only way I know of right now of getting there, and it looks like it remains the case even after you've gotten there the first time. So I suggest that unless you're planning on parking your level 20 at the Bloody Eagle Tavern, it's probably going to be more trouble than it's worth to get there. Yes, I know you have this 2-week limit before you have to refresh refresh your thing, because I do not believe that. Actually, where is the nearest milestone? I'm trying to think. Is it Stable Masters or the milestone is where our. Yeah, I think Bloody Eagle Tavern is about as far from our NPC. Wenda is as far from Wenda as you can get. That's. I'm trying to think. Is there an easy way to get to Wenda from the tower so you could update your Wenda and then come back?
Probably not. Because
Yeah.
Wenda's clear over on the.
I think she's in more than one location.
Oh, there's more than one Wenda in Umbar?
I think she's at all the at all the places where you could port in. I think, or maybe it's my just imagination being wild on me.
I don't know. I haven't gone
Yeah,
looking
anyway,
for more than one
yeah.
Wenda.
I know she's at the West Gate. That's the.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering if she. I thought I saw that there was more than one copier, but I can't remember whether it was at near the milestones or if no, it can't be near the milestones because there's one near the West Gate. There is no milestone at the West Gate. Okay, never mind.
We can investigate the next time we're there and
Yeah.
find out how many
Okay,
Wendas there are.
How many windows there are. Maybe I was just overcounting. Anyway, they added a travel skill there, but that travel skill is a minimum level of 140. So, nope, you can't have your low-level characters that are doing missions having an easy way to get there after the first time to get there. Forster Act rewards from the Forster event in Combe now correctly apply the chance to gain bonus rare items from harvested wood nodes. And it's good that they fixed that before starting the Forster event. The icon for the weapon aura of the Dead City has been updated. The consumables delving selection box earned at the Delve Deeper Weekly will only offer the option of an essence box for characters above level 105. The essence box will be level appropriate. And the War Steed appearance of Orc Head on a pike is now properly displayed. For quests and adventure areas, the missing beetle nest in Cooking Catastrophe Beetle Larvae has been returned, making the Cooking Catastrophe quest available once again. So the Cooking Catastrophe is now less of a catastrophe.
Is it more of a cookie now?
There was an issue with the horn of Anquerbine on Bel Inzul, where they could be fighting players and not be seen by others. This has been fixed.
Been there, done that. Not
Yes.
a fan, but I'm glad they fixed it because it is so irritating to be running around going, what is hitting me? What is hitting me?
Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself.
That's basically what it felt like.
Yes. In the Umbar mission, the ill-fated cave, the initial failure text has been updated to be clearer. I don't know, I thought it was clear enough in the previous one, but alright.
No, they added Gorgoron laughs.
That was my kid, sorry.
Here. Added healer, provisioner, and supplier NPCs to the Bloody Eagle Tavern. And fixed an issue in the Protecting the Sea Lanes Umbar mission wherein portals were usable in combat. Because they certainly don't want portals to be usable in combat, right? And reduced enemy density in Protecting the Sea Lanes and an infestation of crabs Umbar missions. I did not notice any reduction in the crabs and infestation of crabs, but I did notice that there were no longer mobs on the forecastle and quarterdeck in Protecting the Sea Lanes. Removed delvings from Protecting the Sea Lanes and an infestation of crabs, Umbar missions. Due to the tight confines of the ship, there are a group of delving malices that become too unfair or unfun to warrant including delvings in these missions. Oh, yeah.
So, question, is an infestation of crabs the one that I really not doing until they fix it? Or is that a different one?
No, that is most definitely the one that you're not doing until they fix it.
Okay. Say, because I don't think you need a delving malice to make that one unfair or unfun.
Yes, it felt slightly less problematic than the last time I did it, but I will say that you would not want to do it yet.
Okay.
And the Craft for Embers quest has been updated to properly require being at level cap. As for classes, Brawlers, Low Strike, Dexterous Hook, and Sinister Cross once again execute at the intended speed for human avatars.
Were they, like, super slow, or were they super fast?
I have no idea.
I'm curious.
And as for known issues, the 12-second duration is missing from the tooltips for the 3 Umbar Scholar Guild drafts. And that is it for the release notes, but as Cinders noted that she has something to read for us relating to the Crafting Guild Halls.
Ooh, I get to read it? Okay. Corsair of Umbar Craft Guilds have arrived. With the upcoming Corsair of Umbar Craft Guild release, they have provided some insight into how the new Umbar tier of guilds will function, how it will eventually interact with previous guild tiers and alt crafters. So, do you want me to read it word for word, or?
What is your preference?
Alright, so.
You might want to skip some of the fluff if you want. Yes.
Okay. Joining the Umbar Guild requires that you be an honored master of a crafting guild and then earn enough reputation with the guild to become an Umbar Guild member. This is a departure from how they wanted to implement the new guild, but as they've discussed previously, some old decisions with the crafting system provided a smooth way to excise the previous tiers and make the transition seamless. So as a result, they're adding new ways for us to move through the Umbar Guild member tier quickly. Once you join the ranks of the Umbar Crafting Guild, you have access to guild recipes. These recipes allow for crafting gear, items, consumables, and more up to incomparable levels of items. You also unlock daily quests that require a recipe you can learn from the guild leader. It will not only earn you guild rank, but also will count toward weekly rewards from the guild. Lastly, you gain access to creating new upgradable items available only to the craft guilds of Umbar. So, unlike standard craft guild items, this upgradable suite of items allows the crafter to make a baseline upgradable item and then trade that item freely to other players. That item may be a piece of equipment, a consumable item, or a persistent tool used in future recipes. Regardless of the type of item you are creating, you can advance the efficacy and strength of the item. Guild members will have access to the following: recipes for baseline upgradable items, recipes for upgrade items attached to the various tiers of upgradable items, and recipes to create the one-shot recipes needed to process the upgrades for each item tier. The process differs from standard crafting, so they're highlighting the differences. Recipes for crafting upgradable items are only available to the craft guilds and will require you to reach a certain tier within the guild before gaining access. Once learned, you will know the recipe and will never need to learn it again. All you need to do then is gather the materials needed to make the baseline item, craft it, and then have the base item ready to trade or enhance on your own. These output items are all the same and can be traded freely throughout the game. The base equipable item is uncommon, requires that a player equipping it is at least level 141, has a single main stat essence slot, a generic essence slot, and a modest vitality enhancement inherent to the item. To craft the basic item, you will need a luck stone and a small number of ingots. Please note that if the item you are crafting is jewelry, you will need a small number of polished gems. Recipes to create the upgrade items will also be available through the craft guilds after reaching certain tiers. Once learned, you know these recipes, gather the items needed, in this case the luckstone settings, and can make an upgrade item of the appropriate tier that can be freely traded to anyone in the game. Each tier of the luckstone settings will require a luckstone to craft. The first tier costs 1, the second tier costs 2 luckstones, and the third tier, you guessed it, requires 3 luckstones. Recipes to create the one-shot recipes that are needed to combine the current tier items with the enhancement item are also available through the craft guilds, and yes, you need to have the appropriate reputation to earn the recipes. Like the other recipes, once they are learned, you know the recipe forever. The one-shot recipes are tradable to anyone in the game. To upgrade an item, a player will need the following: an upgradable item, the upgrade item of the appropriate next rank, and the recipes to reforge that new item. So for example, if you have an upgradable helmet that is currently tier 1, you would need the tier 2 upgrade item and a recipe to forge the tier 2 version of the helmet. The one-shot recipe for upgrading the helmet is a consumable that requires that you have an output profession. Each recipe is an apprentice-level processing recipe that goes into the recipe's profession tab of the crafting UI. Finally, after gathering the materials and learning the recipe, the player executes the recipe and makes their new upgraded item. The new version of the item, if it is better than the baseline item, is now bound to the account. The nifty part about upgrade items is that the owner chooses how they develop their equipment. Each tier allows the owner to select the next essence slot that the item accrues. You can add up to 1 vital slot or up to 3 additional generic slots. With 3 levels to choose from at the launch of this new feature, you will have 5 essence slots of your choosing. Additionally, they're working towards adding a new type of slot, the set bonus slot. It would make the item fit into the current raid set bonus, allowing the crafter to use one of their upgrade slots to jump ahead to earn the set bonus early, or to make their crafted item part of the raid sets. It's a longer-term goal with no immediate date for implementation, but it's a really cool idea. Looking forward to expanding the upgradable items over time and believe the new upgradables will make crafting professions a great way to engage with players throughout the game, returning a measure of reliability to the crafting system. Anything on that first section?
Well, what is potentially intriguing to me about that, and I'm hoping this is what they're thinking because I've been thinking about this for quite some time, which is it's an extreme bummer when you have found this set of armor that gives you a specific bonus that's very advantageous, but you level out of it and there's nothing to replace it, no upgrades to be had. You basically just lost the set bonus. Do you think that this means that they would be bringing back the potential to craft the bonus sets that were available prior to us leveling out of the areas for them? Because it would be really cool to see like all those set bonuses, all those sets come back as something that you can craft an essence for and slot it, and then you could mix and match those set bonuses as well.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because that would be really cool. Because there were some really cool things.
Oh, in that case, it'll never happen.
It was just there were some really cool set bonuses I had in the past. It was such a bummer that you just lost them through progression. Basically, you just leveled out of the gear, and there's nothing that was going to be its equivalent. So you had to do something else.
I have a feeling they're going to try to avoid giving you any set bonuses that will. They want to avoid giving you set bonuses that would make future armor undesirable, because that's the reason why they wind up putting these level caps onto them, is because those set bonuses were so sweet that.
Well, but that's what, if they're putting level caps on it, then you would just have to recraft all those set bonus essences for the next level cap,
I say right now it looks like it's mostly just to help it blend in with raid armor than to have it be something different.
Well, the main thing I like is they're actually being thoughtful about saying, make crafting viable again too. Right?
Yeah.
Make the actual gear worth it, and that I'm liking that direction.
Yeah, I think that would be awesome. All right, we ready to continue?
You're ready to continue.
All right. With the update that adds the Umbar Guild member Craft Guild tier, they're adding repeatable daily and new weekly Craft Guild quests. Each quest is available from the specific profession Umbar Guild leader. The recipe to complete the quest is available for a small expenditure of coin from the guild leader, and once learned, cannot be forgotten. Hallelujah. The recipe requires you to craft modest recipes from the Umbar crafting tier, package them up, and turn them in to the guild leader. Completing a daily Craft Guild quest rewards you with guild reputation, a number of Craft Guild barter tokens, a recipe picker box for the profession, and a red seastone shard. The weekly quest operates like the mission quest with some changes. First, there will be weekly quests for each guild. Second, you need only to complete 5 dailies to meet the criteria for the weekly rewards. Third, there is no second tier to the weekly quest. Completing the weekly Craft Guild quest will reward you with a larger amount of guild reputation, a larger number of Craft Guild barter tokens, 2 luck stone settings, and a picker box containing a universal solvent and a recipe box as options. This is only the beginning of the implementation of quests and rewards surrounding the Umbar Craft Guilds. Our plan is to allow crafters enrolled in an Umbar Guild after reaching a certain reputation level to pass the knowledge of Umbar crafting back to the craft guilds in Eriador. The goal is to allow Umbar Guild crafters the ability to give the knowledge they've gained to other characters on their account to earn great favor among the Eriador craft guilds. We also want to return to providing resource dungeon quests made available through guilds and continue to add methods to acquire luck stones and solvents for the new higher tier recipes. Any comments? All right. Ingredient costs and item values. There are likely to be a number of questions surrounding the release of the Umbar Craft Guild tier. So they're going to continue to monitor the thread as best they can over the next few days to answer questions, but wanted to provide a little clarity over ingredient costs and the item levels before everybody wants to know. So base ingredient costs for equipped items are 1 luck stone and 8 ingots. Jewelry requires 1 luck stone, 5 ingots, and 2 polished gems. Tier 1 upgrades require a Luckstone Hollow, requiring a single Luckstone, 15 ingots, the basic tier item, and the recipe to combine all of the ingredients. Jewelry upgrades modify ingots down to 10 and add 5 polished gems. Tier 2 upgrades require a Luckstone socket, which requires 2 Luckstones, 15 ingots, the current tier item, and the recipe to combine all of the ingredients. Jewelry upgrades modify ingots down to 10 and add 5 polished gems. Tier 3 upgrades require a Luckstone setting, which requires 3 Luckstones, 15 ingots, 3 Red Sea Stones, the current tier item, and the recipe to combine all of the ingredients. Jewelry upgrades modify ingots down to 10 and add 5 polished gems. Base tier items are 505 level items of uncommon quality. They require level 141 to equip, have the quality Bind on Equip, a modest vitality boost, a main stat essence slot, and a generic essence slot. Tier 1 items are 509 level items of rare quality. They require level 150 to equip, are bound on creation, a modest vitality boost, a main stat essence slot, a generic item slot, and a vital or additional essence slot of the combiner's choosing. Tier 2 items are 513 level items of rare quality. They require level 150 to equip, are bound on creation, a modest vitality boost, a main stat essence slot, a generic item slot, a vital or additional essence slot from the previous tier, and add a vital essence slot if available, or an additional generic essence slot of the combiner's choosing. Tier 3 items are 517 level items of incomparable quality. They require level 150 to equip, are bound on creation, a modest vitality boost, a main stat essence slot, a generic item slot, a vital and additional essence slot, or 2 additional generic essence slots from the previous tier, and add a vital essence slot if available, or an additional generic essence slot of the combiner's choosing. In closing, this is the first round of the Umbar Craft Guild, and we are only releasing a smattering of the upgradable items. As we move through the storyline and continue development, the depth and breadth of available recipes and upgradable items will grow alongside your characters. Bring on your questions, and we will answer them as best we can. Back to you, Pine Leaf.
All right. Thank you, Cinders.
You're welcome.
And now,
Hooray!
I wonder what kind of slots you can have on food. Just joking.
Probably
Yeah.
none.
None, yes. All right. Now, I was thinking about my earlier question relating to how far I might have gotten in the guilds. I might have gotten up to Westament, so it's possible I've gotten that far, but that means I still have to at least go through the Minas Ithil tier, which seems to be rather a huge amount in order to get through that. I suspect there'll be quite a bit of slogging through there. We'll have to see. But that's it for the Umbar Crafting Guild's update. We'll probably discuss that more at some point in the future when we figure actually what all those words meant.
Yes, which I am game to be one of the people who tries it out this week because I'm working really hard to get... My jeweler's ready to join, I think.
Okay.
If not, she's close. But Pineleaf has a request for a tool for his mariner, so I need to get that going and figure out how it works.
We have a... Well, for my mariner, that would require a woodworker, though.
I know.
Yeah, okay. Yes. Now,
I've got a lot of crafting to do.
Yeah, a lot of crafting to do. That's true. Yes, and I need to go and maybe see if I could start investigating what I could do for my warden to start to work on the food.
I have a feeling you'll have a long... I can't really describe it any other way. A long, long journey.
A long, long journey. Well, seeing how that I am currently in the Blackroot Vale, it is going to be a long journey.
I agree.
Yes. The Forester event has now finally opened. Yes, this time for real. Yes, it started on the 13th. I know that was really quite a day they decided to choose for that. And it's currently scheduled to run until December 23rd.
So it's made it 3 days so far?
No.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it has made it to 3 days without completely crashing.
It's a good sign.
Yeah, that's a good sign in the proper direction and all of that. And I've heard reports that they haven't noticed anything completely outlandish. I have not seen any threads appear saying it's completely broken again, which I will take as a good sign because I know the players in this game are certainly not shy at making posts about things that are completely broken. So I am going to assume then that things are running reasonably well. It's going to be on for 10 days. Then after that, it's going to be off for a while. Then, of course, it'll be coming back up later than after that or at some point on the schedule. I think they may have already have updated the event schedule to show when they're next hoping it to be around. So far, though, they're only getting started on the 2024 event schedule. They're not very far into it yet.
Well, do we just know there's an event, or is it like a specific event? Do we know if it's like a metalsmith event or?
No, when they're saying that they have not scheduled events for other crafts yet, simply because those other events have to get to the game first.
Okay.
And right now, they're only worried about the ones for the Forester. So when the Forester event is scheduled to come back after the 23rd, I was hoping that they would have already have had the start of the 2024 list out, but it looks like it's not out yet. So yeah, so it looks like that they don't have anything on the schedule yet shown on there, because I know that Cordovan was already working on it, but it sounds like he doesn't actually have it posted yet since he hasn't finished the thing yet. So I think he wants to be at a reasonable level of finish before he actually makes a full post of it. But they already scheduled a time in January, when either January or early February, when they're bringing back the event. They said that the skirmish event is going to start in mid-January, for the Ill Omens event. So that is scheduled to return again this year. And they already have the Legendary Items Reward Track next thing coming up, which is going to be up in February 15th. But that one was an obvious one in there, so that's already in the 2023 schedule in there. So the Forester event is now active. Now let's hope that it runs smoothly. So let's go to the store sales. And Krister, what's on sale this week?
Available for a limited time, Sublime Patron Coffers. Learn more about these new coffers available for a limited time in the LOTRO store. I'm intrigued. Patron, does that have something to do with VIPs? Is it like a twisted disguise of a Hobbit present?
No,
Is
it's like you
is it
can
a fancy
pay
new name
money.
for a Dale Men's cram?
It's like you can pay money, and they'll give you stuff.
Cool. Okay, so that's going on through December 20th, and then Yule savings continue. Now through December 21st, you'll get 35% off the plus 2,000 Virtue Acceleration tomes, 50% off the plus 5,000 Enhanced Reputation Supply tomes. Or I guess they're not tomes. They're just supplies. Okay, and 75% off Skill and Slayer D boosts. Unleash your potential. Get 30% off loot box keys, universal solvents, universal morale and power potions, and that is through the 21st as well. And then the weekly coupon is for a black steel key. Coupon code is KEY, all caps, and that's through the 21st as well.
All right, thank you, Krister. And yes, I did remember. I often forget to put in the coupon codes, but I did remember this week, and I'm glad I did, because I actually managed to get a macaque stone from the freebie key.
He was so excited too.
May you and your macaque enjoy a long and fruitful life.
Right. Yes, I'll have to bring the macaques over and put the stone at one of my houses so that. See,
That's awesome.
I tried to think of whether it would be better to put it at the house in Gondor or at the house And I know the House of Gondor probably has the better climate for it because
Let's
one
say
another
House
day
in
is.
Gondor would be the place to put it, in my opinion. I'm not going to tell you how to live your
Yeah.
life.
Yes. And that concludes our store sales. So let's then have a look at the pick of the week, where this week one of the players has started actually a thread. She posted the first 3 lines in here, but I am sure that there will be a total of 12 of them in the end because they're talking about the 12 days of LOTRO.
And here we go. On the first day of LOTRO, my hobby gave to me a drink at the Prancing Pony.
Ooh. And the second day?
On the second day of LOTRO, my hobby gave to me 2 elvish twins and a drink at the Prancing Pony.
Wait, is it if it's 2 elvish twins? Is that twins of each other, or are there twins of? Or are there 4 twins?
Eladan
What's
and
going
Elro
on?
here.
Yeah, I'm assuming that they meant not 2 sets of twins, but 2 that are twins. That's what I
Okay.
took it as.
On the third day of LOTRO, my hobbit gave to me 3 sidekicks, 2 elvish twins, and a drink at the Prancing Pony.
All right.
More to come next week.
Yes, and the sidekicks that they're showing there are Horn, Nona, and Corridon. So yeah, those are the perfect. So I'm trying to think, who would be the 4? What would the 4 be then? I'm trying to think. Is there anything that comes in 4 that you can think of that has 4? Oh, how about the Rider's 4?
Or
Ooh.
or a horse with 4 legs.
I don't think. No. I think it'll be the Rider's 4 from Rohan.
Okay.
Yeah.
We will find out if Pyleaf is
Yeah.
correct next week.
Next week. And then, of course, the 5 one is going to be the real, because you always have that long thing with the 5, so that becomes very, very prominent. Whatever they do with 5, but okay, 4 at least I think would be the writer's 4. Whatever the rest of them, I don't know yet. But we will know probably tomorrow morning what the 4 is,
Yes.
because these are posted each morning.
But
Yeah.
we'll share it on the show next week.
Yeah, we'll share them on the show next week. Yes. Yeah, right. No, we shared it. We're not going to do an episode every day in order to tell you.
Every morning. Tune in. Oh, wait. No, please don't.
Let's head into our week in gaming. And Krister, what were you up to?
Yeah, I see this too. Yeah. So I think Cinders saw me in game riding around on my gigantic silver shiny warhorse in my silver shiny armor with my shiny sword and my shiny shield, and so he is pretty impressive though. You have to give him that. Krister does look pretty impressive on his gigantic horse steed, mainly because everybody else is riding their regular horses, so it's totally awesome. I love it.
I'm just impressed that we made it almost an entire hour before anybody commented on it.
Yeah, so of course, the Winterfest is my favorite festival of the year. That's usually where I accumulate the bulk of my tokens for the rest of the year. And I've been having fun, and of course, I get to hang out with my favorite hobbit, that hobbit that's passed out in his own sick, every year, like clockwork. In fact, I was talking to a kinmate of mine who said that he's there all year. So it's not just the festival that brings him out. And what I like in my hobbits is consistency. So I'm very happy with this guy. So that's been a lot of fun. And then last night, we went over to the island and did the the bounty missions. I was too low level to get the rewards or take the missions the first time around. But then we went and did Vermin, and we couldn't finish Vermin because I couldn't. I was a couple levels lower than I should have been, so I wasn't able to hold aggro as good as I used to. And but I had leveled while we were doing that, so we went back. I was able to take the bounties, and we went and did the bounties, and then I got another level. So I had a very profitable night last night, and as a bonus, one of our kinmates took us over to the Bloody Eagle, and because that's where the guild hall is, right? If it
No,
isn't,
no, no, no. The
if it isn't
Guildhall's
where the
not
guild hall
bloody.
is,
No.
so
Guild
we
Hall's in the gut, or somewhere
okay.
near the gut.
So we visited the Bloody Eagle, and then we went to the gut and went to the guild hall there and checked it out, and that was really cool. Taking a look at the new crafting stuff. The discussion tonight, of course, getting me more excited about that because that was always that was always something you desired, was that it would be so nice if the crafting stuff could become viable, especially the like the metalsmith, weaponsmith, that kind of stuff being viable and producing good stuff. And I'm kind of excited to see where we're going to go with that. And the just reorganizing everything, getting everything sorted. The task item carry all is awesome. I love it. I'm starting to have inventory space again, which is extremely bizarre. I actually freed up a whole bag. I haven't been able to do that in years, so that was.
I say the other carry-alls are just as amazing. If you don't have them, you need them.
Yeah, I do. It's just
Good.
that task item.
Like,
the task item one is just awesome.
They are the best
then,
invention.
I got to do Krister on his big Krister the Jerk on his big dumb horse, his classic maneuver, where we went and did that first bounty, which is I think what is it? What is the creature? There's like a drake maybe or something, but
Is it the proto drake?
The proto drake. Thank you. And so of course I'm riding my big war horse, and I can trample. So I hit him, trample him, and he does a double skip and flies off the cliff onto the beach below. And of course, since I wasn't the only one there, and our people weren't the only one there, I felt really stupid at that point because there's a bunch of people that were just hunting that. So, but I felt I gave everybody a show that they weren't expecting. Who's expecting somebody to trample that thing off a cliff? So I've been trampling around. It's been a lot of fun. I've missed it. So I've been having a lot of fun on LOTRO. I'm looking forward to getting level cap, and I'm just kind of looking forward to seeing the new raid now, because I feel like last night we had a lot of people. We had a couple people we haven't seen in years. We had a lot of people coming back, so it looks like maybe we'll have the potential for raiding again, and I'm really looking forward to that. So. Other than that, I've been playing this game Sunken Land with my couple of my friends, and we've gone from these timid people that are afraid of the water, afraid of fish, afraid of diving, afraid of metal, to these horrific usurpers and oppressors of all the islands around us. Basically, if we look to the horizon and we see an island without our flag, we're making bullets and we're preparing for our next raid. But
Wonderful.
I had this hysterical moment where I was simultaneously making food and smelting ore. And I just thought, what a bizarre cooking show that could actually be if you could carry it off. Like you have a blacksmith who's also a baker, I guess. And then the other game I picked up recently was Rogue Trader 40K, and I have been enjoying it quite a bit. And I had some crazy bugs. I had this crazy bug where one of my characters had a special ability that happens before combat, but it glitched and it would just keep repeating this before combat move. So I equated it to like Quicksilver in X-Men, where I could just move everybody around at will and kill all of our enemies before anybody can move. But of course, I don't really feel like that's an appropriate way to play the game. So I managed to figure out a way to get that unbugged. But anyways, I've been enjoying that game and I've had a good gaming week. How about you, Cinders?
I've had a good gaming week as well. I finished M's Explorer, Slayer, and Quest Deeds in all of the zones past Gundabad, in Gondor and Umbar, and I have added some Yulefest pets to my menagerie. Um, I played some Dinkum because I really want a Christmas tree for my house. And
Oh.
I also learned that we can have more people playing together in multiplayer, up to 6 people, instead of just the 4 that we were able to have previously. So I'm really excited about that and seeing who else I can con into playing with me. Um, and then I did Friday Night Fights last night and had lots of fun. And it was the first time, at least I'm pretty sure it was the first time, where my character was able to share the loot drops because she didn't need them. And so I was able to share the fantastic might drops that I had that weren't quite up to what M was wearing, but I was able to hand them off to another guardian who they were an upgrade for. So that was really exciting. Um, and then as part of the finishing the Explorer Slayer and quest deeds, I definitely was kind of in my own little world today, and Pineleaf was left wondering as I wandered all over creation. Um, it was pretty funny. He was like, "Where are you going?" I was like, "I don't know. I'm just wandering." But
Yes.
'tis the season. Pineleaf,
Yes.
how was your week?
A wandering cinders was she. Yes. First off, my runekeeper finished numerous deeds with the help of cinders, as just explained in there, and I managed to then finish all the deeds in the expansion zones. I think there is one for doing a daily quest
The
5 times,
crab
and then you get
legs.
unlock another one for doing the successor daily quest of that 5 times. So there is that particular deed, and I think that deed only exists to keep track of how many times you did the daily, so it can then promote you to the next daily. And then after that is another day. That thing is several levels of dailies on that one. So that is the only deed that I have in my deed log for the new areas that are with it. So that's definitely the most completionist I've been in and in a zone since the Shire. I don't think I've even managed to do that yet for Cardelon Swan Fleet yet. So
And
yes, that
the really funny part of that, Pineleaf, is I am not a completionist. I just get bored indeed,
yeah, he's just get bored indeed.
which is how he
Yeah,
got roped into this.
right. So therefore, Cinders and I got that all the way through that today, and today we were doing the Slayers with the help of a 6-hour one that we probably got out of a Hobbit present at some point.
Yep, 6 hours of death
6 hours of death. Yes.
and Skarn. But
And Skarn, yeah, yes, death and Skarn. That's what it was all about. Death and Skarn. Then my minstrel headed into King's Gondor and ran several skirmishes because my minstrel is way, 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 way behind in working on skirmisher middle art. So I was thinking that maybe I could start working on that and also working on King's Gondor, get my minstrel up to a decent level, and maybe my minstrel will be able to do some work when the instances open up in January. And my low-level mariner quested at Ostparode and then headed back into Rontost, where it was a lot easier with this trip to Rontost than it was the first time I was in there for my class quest, where back then the mobs were all 5 levels above me, and now the mobs were below my level. So it's a lot easier killing the mobs there.
I agree.
Yes. And that concludes my week in gaming. We do not have any emails this week, but if you like to send one, you can send it to podcast@lotrplayers.com, or you can post a comment on our YouTube version of this. The Players Alliance has 2 shows on Saturdays at 8:30 p.m. US Eastern Time. We have Loach Players News, and we record DDO Players News when Drac is available. You guys choose our shows at loachplayers.com/live. And that's all for tonight. and this is Pine Leaf Noodles reminding you to skirmish responsibly.